How a toy bear leaked 2 million kids' voice chats. I've never been the type of person to trust goddamn Amazon Alexis, to be honest. I've never trusted any of that shit. Yo, it is kind of crazy to think about. Like, a lot of these toys and whatnot that had microphones and stuff, they could really easily get hacked into. There's been a lot of companies where they just simply have terrible, like, security measures from what I've heard. All of the stuff, even like tech companies, all of their stuff just ends up getting hacked. Like, where are y'all putting your budget? But yeah, if I found out my kid, like a toy bear or toy Barbie, or I don't care what's spying on my kid, I'm not gonna lie, shout out my kid, but I'm getting the best lawsuit money of all time. What are they even gonna do with my kid's data? Like, my kid's saying goo goo gaga or something? Is that what they're about to get? I wouldn't even know what they're about to get. But yeah, shout out Visual Adventure. Let's see this video.
It's such a nice, wholesome toy. We can't mess this
Oh, what a nice bear.
People may be peering into your home without you even knowing it.
Who could have guessed giving a kid a stuffed animal with a microphone connected to the internet had the potential to go wrong?
I had no clue that this is dangerous.
So what happens when—
See, this just goes to show, bring back child labor. Simply because they would never have to worry about this issue if child labor was legalized again. Man, they were moving money in the US, bro, when child labor was legalized. Was it ever legalized? I don't know, and I don't care. I'm kidding you two, by the way. It's a joke, all right? I don't believe in those policies.
a children's toy becomes a target for hackers. In 2017, parents found out the hard way when this cute teddy bear allowed hackers to invade the lives of nearly a million families. How the hackers got into the teddy bear and the trouble they caused was a nightmare no one saw coming. This is the insane story of how a toy bear leaked 2 million kids' voice chats. I'm Visual Venture, and we reached our goal of 700,000 subscribers before the end of this year.
W700K,
Thank you guys a ton, and we are just getting started. The ultimate hacking machine. In 2009, something was invented that made hackers all over the world very excited. It was a software called Shodan, and it was going to make hacking a whole lot.
Search engine for the internet of everything. Shodan is the world's first search engine for the internet. The government just kept this up? The government just kept this up, and they were like, the company had to slide them a little bit of money. Some money in some somewhat way, because there's no way they just allow this shit, and then certain other things are banned, like.
Easier. Although Shodan was dangerous, it wasn't locked inside a secret facility or hidden on the dark web. Anyone could use it, all they needed was a credit card. So what exactly was Shodan, and how did it make cyber criminals hack a teddy bear? Shodan is a search engine for finding unprotected devices on the internet.
That's
it
so
scans
crazy.
Webcams, routers, and servers online.
How do they even find this stuff too? Wouldn't they have to like actually scan each person's computer in the world, or am I tripping?
And checks if the device had—
Wait, I'm thinking, do they have this camera? What if I just randomly went on the website, searched it myself, and I saw me recording this video right now? Hey guys, Tom NFG here. Did you know only half of you guys are subscribed and even less of you guys have noties on? I hate to be a burden, but you know, I really appreciate it if you hit that sub button and the little bell next to it, you know? It doesn't take long. I know you can get mixed up in the algorithm and everything. But yeah, also tune into the streams, you know? We have a lot of fun over there, I'm telling you. We have a lot of parties going on over there. Yeah, that's it, bye. Damn.
as a password.
Once you click search, it'll bring up all the internet-connected devices in Apex, North Carolina by IP address. Let's look at
so
this
crazy.
one here.
Many devices
It has to be
connected
illegal,
the
right?
internet have weak passwords or sometimes no passwords at all. Shodan finds—
Okay, this is something I have to say. We're in the year 2024, approaching 2025. We're in the 21st century. We're in the 2020s. That you don't have two-factor verification, bro. You can't connect your phone number or something to an account. You deserve your shit to get hacked, because that is like one of the easiest steps to ever do. You just go in the app. It's like, all right, put a phone number, and then boom. To log in, it's not just a password. You got to get the phone number. Simple.
these vulnerable devices and lists them, making it easy to know which devices can easily be hacked. Because Shodan is so dangerous, many states made it a felony to use Shodan to collect information about a device that isn't yours, even if you don't hack the device. Shodan was designed to be a research tool meant for cybersecurity.
Research? Imagine the person that invented fentanyl was like, introducing fentanyl, where it's here for educational purposes. Nobody take it, you know? No, nobody take it, but it's here for research purposes. Like, maybe that's not the same equivalent, but like, it has to be in some way, because what do you mean this is for research purposes? What?
Security professionals, researchers, and law enforcement agencies. But over time, cyber criminals started using it to find targets on the internet. When hackers find a vulnerable database on Shodan, they break in, delete the data, and demand a ransom to restore it. it. If the stolen data is important, hackers will pay the ransom to get it back. Hackers always ask for payment in Bitcoin because it can't be traced. It leaves no money trail. Shodan became so popular among cybercriminals that it was nicknamed the hackers' search engine and the scariest search engine on the internet.
Oh my god.
Ransom. Then in 2015, a simple mistake by the makers of this teddy bear gave cybercriminals their biggest opportunity. A toy for the whole family. This is a Cloud Pets doll, and it was described as the best toy in the history of toys.
You are so happy.
It's a fucking bear. Oh, maybe a bear that speaks back at you. Is that why? But that's existed before.
This is the best toy in the history of all toys.
At first glance, Cloud Pets seemed like regular stuffed animals, but they had something inside that made them dangerous. Released in 2015, Cloud Pets came in 4 variations: dog, cat, teddy bear, and rabbit. Each doll was 12 inches tall with soft, cuddly fur.
You know, actually, he feels really nice. I'll give him this for £7. Like, even if this gimmick doesn't work, I've come out with a nice...
Ooh, 7. What is quid to dollars? Shoot, I don't know. I'm a stupid ass American.
feeling teddy bear.
But here's the twist. Hidden inside each Cloud Pets toy was a small speaker, microphone, and an internet device that could send and receive messages. But why would a stuffed animal need all this?
Yeah, that already
tech?
sounds
So
weird.
the main concept of this teddy bear is so people who are far away from their families can send their families messages, and then the message is said through the bear.
Sending messages through Cloud Pets was easy. Parents or family members downloaded the Cloud Pets app on their...
And you gotta buy the app. Why didn't they just include the cost of the app? I mean, include the cost of the app in the toy. Like, this would make me more pissed if I went out. And look at the stars! Bro, do y'all see this? Fucking 2.5 stars, man. Like, that's how you know this thing wasn't even working in the first place.
Their smartphones and pressed a button to record a voice message. The message was then sent to the specific...
Oh, this looks
Cloud
old.
Pets
This must
teddy
be
bear
like...
connected to that account. The child could press a button on the toy's paw to hear the message, and by holding the same button, they could record a reply. That means traveling parents or a deployed...
Imagine a kid gets the toy, and then all they hear is just like their parents just arguing in the background, like domestic abuse. Like, that's like, they're like, can't wait to open the bear and see what mommy and daddy are talking about. I hate you! You're a bitch! You never listen to anything I say! That would be a crazy scenario. I actually might buy the toy at that point.
Military member could send a heartfelt message to their child's teddy bear at home to be replayed when their child interacts with the bear.
Okay, here we go. The message we've all been waiting for.
Son, it's your father. I don't like you anymore.
When you create an account with Cloud Pets, you
Yeah, that's definitely realistic. Like, the messages would be like, son, daughter, you're a disappointment. Yeah, that's some shit I would do, to be honest with my kid. I'm playing, all right? I would be a responsible father and send them loving messages by a phone call.
give it your child's name, an email address, photo, and more. All voice messages sent through the Cloud Pets doll were saved in an online database run by Spiral Toys Inc., the company that made Cloud Pets. Cloud Pets dolls were flying off the shelves and ending up in thousands of homes.
Receive a story from your dad who's far away, or a lullaby from mom every day.
Cloud Pets were designed to help parents and kids stay in touch, which was a great idea. But then Spiral Toys, the company behind...
I feel like this one went crazier in like the early 2000s when it wasn't as common. When was this released? I'm assuming it's 2010 and above. It looks like it. Like, this would have went crazy. People would have been like, yo, this is the future technology or something like that.
Cloud Pets started making some really bad decisions that made them a target for the worst hackers on the...
Damn, they got the FBI?
Spiral Toys didn't just sell Cloud Pets. They also kept the voice messages and customer details in
Yeah,
the
nice
database.
one.
But keeping
That
that
just sounds
data
stupid.
safe was going to be a problem because the company was falling apart. Spiral Toys was facing 2 lawsuits for infringement of intellectual property. Their chief
They
financial...
should have done it like how Apple does it. Like, I'm pretty sure Apple's security is like, it's only is this end-to-end encryption. Like, you could only hear from the other, and nobody else can.
financial officer was convicted of insider trading, and their top distributor canceled a huge order, leaving thousands of toys rotting in a warehouse. The company also made bad decisions like spending $9.6 million on ads
Oh, it's
instead of
2015.
securing their database against hackers. That money
Yeah,
was also...
9.5 million towards ads. I'm telling y'all, bro. A lot of these companies, toy companies, it don't matter really anything. A lot of times, bro, they're spending their money on like marketing and shit. And that's why the stuff never ends up being as good as it seems.
borrowed from investors. So every time Spiral Toys sold a Cloud Pet, a big chunk of their profit went to paying off the multi-million-dollar debt. The company was so desperate for cash that when Cloud Pets sales slowed, they lowered the price to only $1 or in some cases free with the purchase of another item.
Okay, that's crazy. Even then I could tell. I mean, companies do be doing that, like especially when a company is going bankrupt. I know a lot of the time they'll either, they'll lower it to like the lowest possibility because they're like, we'd rather just like more give it to people and stuff than just like trash it and waste it.
Within a year, Spiral Toys lost more than 99% of their peak value until their stock price was around 0. By the end of 2016, Spiral Toys was a dying business, cutting corners to survive. And then in an attempt to save money, they did.
And then kids got iPads. And the rest was history.
Something so dumb, it opened the door for hackers to come in and ruin everything. The leak. As Spiral Toys struggled, they tried to find ways to save money. One of their largest expenses was the cost of storing and protecting their customers' data. Here's where they made their biggest mistake. To cut costs, they stored customer data in an insecure database that didn't require authentication to access it. In other words,
See, bro, even people nowadays for their normal account have like two-factor authorization. The fact that a big company wasn't even looking at it.
Anyone on the internet could find and open this database without even needing a password. This was a ridiculous thing for any company to do. Normally, databases with sensitive data are protected by firewalls and passwords. Some companies regularly test their own databases to make sure they're secure. But Cloud Pets did the opposite. They left all their data exposed, like leaving the front door to a vault wide open. It gets worse when you realize how sensitive Cloud Pets data was. The database—
Yeah, I want to figure out what were they using this data for?
Provided access to the email addresses, family members' names, passwords, voice recordings, and
that makes
pictures
sense.
of families
That makes sense.
using Cloud Pets toys.
That's why they
this
wanted to use
included 2.2 million voice messages and details on more than 820,000 users. With this Cloud Pets data—
I wonder how many messages they heard like, son, you're a fucking disappointment. I never wanted you. The condom slipped. And I was in the scenario where I was like, I'm turning 36 next year. Me and your mom have been fighting for 3 years, but she really wanted the kid, so I just let her have it. And I told her I'm leaving right after. How many messages like that happen? This totally isn't based off real experience, based off of me, by the way, that voice message.
Hackers could steal identities, empty bank accounts, and even blackmail people. Maybe Spiral Toys didn't realize the danger, or maybe they just didn't care. Parents and kids continued to send messages back and forth through the Cloud Pets doll, unaware that every word they said was exposed on the internet. Luckily, cybercriminals haven't found the database just yet. But remember Shodan, the search engine scanning the web for unprotected systems? It was still scanning, which meant hackers could find the Cloud Pets database at any moment. It was a disaster waiting to happen. But there was one man that could save the situation.
Who's that man?
His name was Troy Hunt. Troy had a very unique job.
That name got aura. Troy Hunt. He's gonna hunt your ass down and find the person who has been hacking these families.
Independent security researcher.
Not as hard as Tommy NFG though. Just saying.
And data breach expert. A big part of his job was investigating data breaches and leaks on the internet. Companies sometimes don't notice when their data has been hacked or leaked. When Hunt finds evidence that a company has been hacked, he contacts the breached company to notify them of the problem. Troy even created a website called Have I Been Pwned, which helps regular people check if their email has been involved in a data breach. In summary, Troy Hunt was the guy you call when hackers are trying to steal your data. In February 2017,
I think right now everybody go ahead and check that website. At least all of us got probably like 10 emails that's been compromised, or I don't know, 1 or 5 or 10 passwords. I guarantee. I don't even want to check that website, actually. Never mind, bro.
Troy received a message about one of the biggest data leaks he'd ever seen. Someone reached out to him claiming he had a copy of the entire Cloud Pets database. As proof, the informant sent Troy a snippet containing around 500,000 records of Cloud Pets customers. Troy's first
and then a MacBook out of all things?
If what the guy sent was really the Cloud Pets database. Luckily, Troy knew someone who bought their daughter a Cloud Pet, so he decided to check that person's login details against the leaked data. In no time, Troy was able to locate this person's email address and Cloud Pets password. Troy also discovered more about the person, their kids' names, birthdays, and their relationship with users like your parents, grandparents, and friends were all accessible. The data was real. In this case, the data wasn't on the dark web yet. It was sitting out in the open, accessible to to anyone with basic hacking skills. Cybercriminals could unleash hell if they got hold of this data. The only way to stop it was to warn Spiral
How would they
Toys
unleash
to
hell, though?
secure their data, but before Troy could act, he heard something that made the situation much worse. Apparently, the guy who told Troy about the leak already sent multiple emails to Spiral Toys to warn them, and he couldn't believe what happened. In
They did
December
nothing.
2016, the guy sent his first email to Spiral Toys, but the message immediately bounced.
I tried emailing your support cloud's email, but that is dead, it seems. Hopefully the whois gets to you. Wow, bruh. Yeah, they didn't even respond. Oh, hell nah.
Back. Then he sent another email to a different Spiral Toys address and waited for a reply. Hours turned into days, but there was no response. 4 days later, he sent a third email to Spiral Toys' hosting provider. Once again, he received no reply. This was more than frustrating, it was dangerous. After hearing the guy's story, Troy realized that sending an email to Spiral Toys wouldn't help. So Troy decided to pick up the phone and call the company. That was even worse because their contact information was a mess. Spiral Toys' phone numbers went to a man who claimed he didn't work for Spiral Toys, or it randomly went to a taxi service in New Jersey. He tried to reach out through LinkedIn.
Nah, that taxi service was getting sure a lot of calls, man.
Zendesk, Twitter, and even via private email, still no response. The Cloud Pets Twitter account was also dormant. It was like Spiral Toys had vanished, leaving customer data floating in the open. In cybersecurity, there is an unwritten rule to give companies time to fix problems before going public. It's called responsible disclosure, but it became clear that Spiral Toys wasn't fixing the problem. None of the Cloud Pets customers knew about the exposed database. This meant that their passwords and emails were still active. With over 800,000 users exposed, the fallout could be huge. Then came the last straw. Troy realized the Cloud Pets database was indexed by Shodan, meaning Shodan scanned and put it on its list. This increases the chances of cyber criminals finding it. Since Spiral Toys wasn't taking—
This website just seems like it's all terrible. Have they ever used this website for... Have they ever used this website for good use ever? Like, what is the point of having this website on Google at all things too, where mainly hackers are using this? I feel like police and whatever, like he was talking about, FBI agents, they have their own software to find people. That's probably better than this. So like, what is the point of even having this up?
Any action, Troy decided to go public. Going public with a data breach can force a company to act, but it can also let hackers know about the unprotected data. It was a risky move, but Hunt didn't have a choice. The moment he went public, it would be a race to see who acted first. The company trying to secure the data or criminals trying to steal it. Troy crossed his fingers and blew the whistle. He published a blog post about the exposed database and notified tech websites like Motherboard and Vice. Once Vice shared the story, more media outlets picked it up and—
Nah, bruh. If y'all watch Vice documentaries back in the day, they was producing real shit, bruh. Vice used to be the shit, man.
The news spread like wildfire.
Which is surprising. Who could have guessed giving a kid a stuffed animal with a microphone connected to the internet in it had the potential to go wrong?
FBI has a warning this morning about smart toys with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth technology, saying that they could be dangerous for your kids.
Cloud Pets, because you are never safe.
Everyone, including those who didn't own a Cloud Pets doll, now knew about its exposed database. The cops even got involved.
Crazy thing is, this could happen to any like software that listens to you. Siri, Alexa, who knows? They've had cases, I'm pretty sure. I mean, where people have just spied through it. So
warning parents to stop using Cloud Pets dolls.
Police recommend if you do have a toy like this, turn it off and leave it in a drawer or closet.
Troy
or trash it. Let me turn it off or leave it in a closet. Throw that shit away. What the fuck? I don't know why I'm so paranoid, bro. I'm gonna think it's gonna start looking at my kid through the eyes. Hey, it's gonna gain sentience and get mad that I threw it in a closet, and it's gonna start running around like it's a Toy Story character. Man, if you don't throw that shit away.
I hope the media's pressure would make Spiral Toys secure the database before the data was stolen. Unfortunately, it was too late. Hackers already found the Cloud Pets data. The photos, voice recordings, and emails of more than 800—
Whoa, photos. I don't remember hearing about photos.
1,000 users were now in the hands of cyber criminals. The thing everyone feared finally happened: the ransom. Cyber criminals found the Cloud Pets database and stole the data. But they didn't just steal it. They went a step further and wiped the entire database clean. In the place of the data was a ransom note demanding Bitcoin as payment to return the data.
Of course.
The message read, "Your database is backed up on our servers. Send 1 Bitcoin to this account." And
that actually isn't a lot. 1 Bitcoin. Nowadays, I know 1 Bitcoin's a lot. But back then, what was it, like 10K? or something like that to save the data. The funny thing is there was a guarantee that they weren't even going to send the fucking data, and they were just saying send the Bitcoin. Like, what were you going to do? What were you going to do if you sent the Bitcoin, it's completely encrypted, and they don't do it? There's nothing you could do. You can't track them.
Send your IP address to this email. If Spiral Toys didn't pay up, the data would be gone for good. Or worse, it could be sold to other hackers on the
Let's
dark
guess
web.
they didn't pay it up.
Apparently, 3 different ransoms were left by different hackers who each stole
Okay, no, that's crazy. At that point, I would have been like, all right, fuck it. Y'all go ahead and have the data. Nah, but a lawsuit, I feel like that would come from that would be way bigger than the ransom they're asking for. And couldn't they have unlimited ransoms? Like, couldn't they have like 20 people come up after they realized the first 3 people got their money or something?
Data. When parents heard about the ransom demands, they were furious. They called and sent emails to Spiral Toys demanding answers. Why didn't the company protect the data better? Why didn't they tell customers about it sooner? However, their questions weren't answered because the company's emails and phone lines still weren't active. Parents took to social media to express their frustration. One tweeted, "I'm really sick of these connected toys. If your little one has cloud pets, there's a pretty high likelihood that your data is now in the hands of nefarious individuals." Parents were worried about the ransom, but they had a meltdown when cybersecurity experts on TV explained how much damage hackers could do with the stolen data. Since it included voice recordings from kids, hackers could use the recordings to impersonate children. They could scam parents sending fake messages pretending to be their child in need of help. The hackers also...
Wait, but this is before you could make AI voices and stuff. I mean, you probably could, but not, it would be confusing. How are they doing that? Okay, see, that's way more scarier than I thought. I thought they were just gonna hear the recordings and some goddamn PDF files was gonna get off to it or do some super weird shit. But oh man.
Stole email addresses and passwords. Data shows that 78% of people reuse the same password across multiple accounts, so hackers could use the stolen passwords to break into other accounts like banking, social media, and shopping websites. Another problem is identity theft. The FBI explained that hackers could use CloudPets data to steal a child's identity, open credit accounts, and even find their home.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. How the f is a bank gonna be like, okay, Timmy Gallagher, 7 years old. Yep, go ahead and open your new credit card. That doesn't even make any sense.
In a worst case
might just be
scenario,
something I'm lost on. I did not know that.
I
I did not know you could do that with the kids' social security.
To contact kids, tricking them into thinking that they're talking to a trusted family member. These weren't far-fetched scenarios. They could actually happen if the stolen data wasn't recovered. The hackers were demanding a ransom to return the data. The big question was whether Spiral Toys would pay. After pressure from the media, Spiral Toys finally released a statement, but what they said just made people angrier. Parents wanted an apology and a solution, but what they got was a series of excuses. In an official statement, Spiral Toys described the issue as minimal and said they took immediate action to protect customer data once they discovered the breach. Initially, the CEO of Spiral Toys claimed that the company never received the warnings about
I'm sure of it.
He said the company even checked its email inboxes but didn't find any messages from security.
See, at this point, the FBI got to do a whole investigation on this company, because how did the dude literally showed proof of him emailing their staff team that was literally listed on their email. So like, man, companies will be doing anything to get the FBI and government off their asses.
Security researchers warning about the breach. That was quickly debunked by Troy Hunt, who repeatedly tried to contact them before going public. After saying that the company never received warnings, the Spiral Toys CEO changed the story, saying, "We did have a reporter try to contact us multiple times last week. You don't respond to some random person about a data breach."
Oh my god. Oh my god. They're stupid. Bro, any company, I'm pretty sure they have something called hacking bounties. Like there's companies, most companies out there, if you find a hack or glitch in their system, you could email them and they'll literally actually pay you, as a matter of fact, if you do it. Like I know Apple actually, they just released something recently saying if you could hack into their systems, like there's a payment system where if you could hack into it, you send it to them, they'll pay you for figuring out the glitch that their engineers couldn't find. So what do you mean you don't respond to random people about concerns about your company? Isn't that what the feedback tab is for? Now that I think of it, bro, I really don't think companies ever read their feedback tab, because I've sent at least in my lifetime probably like 20 or 30 feedbacks for companies, and I guarantee they don't.
But Spiral Toys wasn't done annoying its victims. In a statement published on the Cloud Pets website, the company explained why it stored its customer data on an unsecure online database. The company said the unprotected database was being used for a short time during an upgrade to the Cloud Pets app. Also, that exposed database was managed by an outside company, so technically Cloud Pets—
a company you hired, bro! You fucking hired the company! I hate when people be doing this. No, this is the worst excuse. Well, it wasn't me. It was the person I hired, so technically it's not my fault. Did you not do research on the people you hired and shit? Did you not do any research? Did you not hire the best security team you could?
Pets didn't screw up. This excuse only made them look irresponsible. The public backlash was so strong that Amazon, Walmart, and Target pulled Cloud Pets dolls from their stores. They didn't want to be associated with a company that fumbled such a serious security breach. This was a huge blow to Spiral Toys, considering the company was already struggling to stay in business. After getting kicked out of big stores, Cloud Pets ended up in 99-cent stores. Someone saw it and tweeted all the compromised Cloud Pets at the 99-cent store. I like how they covered the name with a sticker hoping nobody notices. But Spiral Toys was in more trouble. A senator—
yeah, if you went there to intentionally buy your kid the toy after all this came out, you are a terrible parent.
A letter to the company demanding answers about the breach. There was even a possibility of criminal charges depending on the facts of the case. So how did this crazy story end? Paying a ransom doesn't guarantee that the data will be returned, so Cloud Pets never paid it. Besides, Spiral Toys was so broke, they couldn't even afford to pay it even if they wanted to. This also meant that criminals still had the data and could use it in many terrible ways. Cloud Pets customers changed the passwords to their accounts to protect themselves. Cloud Pets customers changed the passwords to their accounts to protect themselves. While changing passwords was necessary,
bro, that's not gonna
it might
do
not
anything.
have been enough to undo the damage. In 2017 alone, more than 1 million children were victims of identity fraud, resulting in total losses of $2.6 billion.
Holy
Cloud
shit.
Pets data was stolen in early 2017, and it contained kids' data. Could that be why children's identity theft increased that year? According to Troy Hunt and other cybersecurity experts, the Cloud Pets database is making rounds in the internet underground. This means that families could still be at risk even years after their Cloud Pets data was stolen. Surprisingly, Cloud Pets dolls are still on the market. You can—
what? Ew! I'm crying, bro. 2.5 stars, man. And why? Wait, what the? $16 for a hack toy? This shit goddamn doubled in price.
buy one on websites, and some secondhand retailers have them on eBay. You might even find one at a local swap meet. Prices range from the original retail value of $49.99 to $24.99.
Okay, 50. It was not worth $50 even before the hacking. At that point, bro, you might as well buy your kid a Kindle tablet or something.
Or, if you're really lucky, $1. Spiral Toys Inc. has completely collapsed. The company suffered data breaches, didn't tell anyone, were held ransom, ignored help offered by researchers, allowed children—
Wouldn't this be like a perfect time for like a government investigation? You know, the government don't be caring about stuff like this, bro, unless it personally affects them.
Children's voice data to be compromised, and were pretty bad at doing the right thing all along. Maybe it was for the best that they shut down. The good news is that the Cloud Pet scandal raised awareness about the risks of internet-connected toys.
First thing you want to do is really research the product. You don't want to just buy any product. You want to make sure that you know the company, you know where they're storing your information.
Troy Hunt gave the best advice on this issue. He said if it's connected to the internet, you can't treat it like it's a child's plaything. There are very real risks involved whenever data is uploaded to—
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. A lot of these companies do not be caring about this. Like, they don't realize how important security of their data is. They're just like focused on marketing and making the money the highest, and then maybe they'll hire like one or two guys in like an IT department that barely know what they're fucking doing.
To a server, even if it comes from a toy. It's up to us to be aware, informed, and careful in this increasingly connected world. Visual Venture.
W Visual Venture video, man. Hey, you guys heard it here. Don't buy your kid something that can listen to them. You know, I honestly just nowadays, bro, I cannot trust shit, to be honest. Any toy I'm buying my kid in the future is not gonna have no microphone device in it or anything like that. It might have the speaker on it. Like, I remember when I was younger and there was like those Elmo, the talking Elmo shit. I'll get him something like that. I'll get him the talking Elmo thing or something like that. Nothing with the mic in it. But then again, bro, you never know, because the Elmo could start listening to start trying to do some shit to my kid, and I'm not gonna let that pass. But yeah, if you're watching on the tube, make sure to join the Discord and watch the streams.
Subscribe to Tommy NFG.